Hi, Tanna. How's it going?
It's going amazing. Thank you.
Welcome to Dances with Films. This is your first time here?
Yes, it is.
All right. What's your impression of the event so far?
It is incredible. It is so exciting to be with all of these new and returning filmmakers to Dances with Films and be around such a great crowd of artists.
Now, speaking of which, what film are you bringing to us to this event?
We have Two Ways Home. It's a feature film, and we have our cast here. Some of our cast and some of our crew flew all the way from Iowa. We filmed this movie and have been working on it for 7 years, and finally it's getting to see its world premiere tonight on a Saturday, which we are all so excited about.
You shot it in Iowa. That's an interesting location.
It is an interesting location. It was.
For my fans at home, what's the story about and what is your character in the film?
The story is about a very headstrong young woman, or that's my character, of course. She's very young. No, just kidding.
You're young and beautiful.
Thank you. But it's about a very strong woman who reunites with her grandfather, played by Tom Bauer, and her 13-year-old daughter while she's dealing with the adversity of being bipolar. And so we have a very strong, it's a beautiful story, but also the strong mental health theme going through it. We have the National Alliance for the Mentally Ill, who's having actually a table in the auditorium here tonight, just to answer any questions that people might have. It's so great to have a film that focuses on mental health when it's something that a lot of times art doesn't portray correctly, and that's something that can be very stigmatized and that people don't always want to come and talk about. And this is a very hopeful story about a very, like I said, a headstrong woman in the Midwest who manages to reconcile, even though she's going through a lot of doubts in her own mind about her mental health.
That's a good point you brought up, because mental illness, it's a sensitive subject.
Mm-hmm.
So how does the film approach it with its own sensibility?
It doesn't hit the nail on the head as though it's a cause film, but it has it more rather on the sideline. In the beginning of the movie, she's getting released from jail and she's going back to her family, and they have their own, they have their own opinions of her, of what they've been through with her and her struggles with it. And so does her husband. And so as she's moving along, she's plodding forward and she's not letting it stop her, which is very important. And they get to integrate her illness into something that they see as very strong in her life and a big part of who she is now. And I think that's so important, is that people don't try to sweep something like bipolar, which his character doesn't sweep it under the covers. It's like she's wearing it as something that's not almost like a badge of honor, I'd like to say, and something that she can wear and has made her the strong person that she is now.
I love that.
Yeah.
Can't wait to screen now. What were the joys and the challenges of making an independent film such as this one?
Well, we were in Iowa, so we were dealing with some live animals, some hogs.
Oh, really?
we were in a hog farm, so that's always challenging. We had the humidity and the heat. It was 100 degrees, a lot of days. Yeah. So, it was a homemade film. Everybody was so excited to be shooting in Iowa. And so it ended up being families and farms and people just giving us their trailer homes and I shot on my family farm, and people running and Subway giving us free sandwiches and popsicles from, come and go. And, it was really, really cool to see everybody come together and get locations for free, and everybody to just be excited to have a film that's made in the Midwest, where the actors were cast in Iowa. We held the auditions all over Iowa, and not flown in necessarily, from Los Angeles or a different location, which happens a lot of times when people go on location and the big studios go on location. We have the actors plucked right from Iowa for the film. So now they're out here tonight, which is exciting, and thank you to Dances with Films for this, because they're here saying, oh my God, I made this film that I never thought would see the light of day, but it's here tonight at the Chinese Theater.
I love
so
that.
Great. It's like, is this real?
Because when I think of, when people think of Iowa, it's like, oh, election Iowa,
Right. They're not like, oh, there's amazing actors there. Yeah. There's amazing film crews there. Yeah, there are artists there. But yes, there are. And they're going to be on the big screen tonight, which is so incredible. I'm so proud of this film.
Before I let you go, for my fans to get to know you better, what motivated you to want to be an actress? And what's your advice for aspiring actors and actors out there?
My advice and what motivated me was just knowing that I couldn't do anything else. I think somebody tried to give me advice once to tell me not to be an actor. And they were like, if you can't breathe doing it, something like this. But if you can't live without it, something like this. If you can't live without it, then you have to do it. And I'm trying to think of what it was. Anyway, it was something to deter me from being an artist. And I was just like, I cannot live without being an actor. And therefore, I can't breathe without being an actor. And so I have to do it. I don't know what else to do in my life. So my advice to people all over the country, especially having made this film in Iowa, is wherever you are, with the technology that's provided now, pick up a camera, show your story. Show your unique story. The story that I've made is not guns and, it's not a car chases. It's not a lot of CGI. It's a very lovely homegrown story from Iowa. So tell your story, write your script, pick it up, ask for favors, get out there, get moving, make a movie. Don't let people tell you no. And before you know it, you're going to see the results and you're going to have a beautiful story on screen.
And also, you don't have to spend much to go to Juilliard. There's master classes anywhere these days.
Absolutely not. I watched my friends go to Juilliard, and I went to the University of Iowa. And it was amazing. The writing program was amazing. And again, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter where you go. You just find the beautiful story that you have and learn. There's people making movies on their cell phones now. That's incredible. If you have a vision, then go for it and make it. And if you have a beautiful story, it can be done.
I love it. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.